I'm Rebecca Salt, Director at Amazon Freight, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join us for our session, Optimizing Your Business for the Long Haul. We have an excellent discussion planned with an Amazon seller, but before we begin, I wanted to share a little bit about myself. In my current role, I oversee the strategy for Amazon Freight and the marketing that we do to you, our key sellers. And part of the role of me and my team is to really help you understand how we can help with the shipping needs that you may have. I have worked in the supply chain and logistics industry for nearly 25 years. I've worked across Europe, North America, and Asia, so I have a lot of experience. And it means that myself and many of my colleagues at Amazon Freight have this really in-depth knowledge of the challenges that you're facing every day. And we can use that to build our product and to help you deliver better for your customers. One of the things it means is I tell my team a lot is that I've been around trucks and sheds for a while, but that's what makes this so interesting. Okay, what are we going to cover today? I'll give you a very short overview of what Amazon Freight does and how it can help your business. Then we'll get into the core of our discussion and we'll chat with one of our sellers about their approach to shipping, what you can learn from them, and how they've leveraged Amazon Freight to benefit their business growth and optimization. So let's pause for a minute and focus on the challenges that you all face shipping goods. What does it mean to you? There's some real challenges. Firstly, finding a freight provider, booking loads, managing inventory, filling trailers, and ensuring everything is flowing is a lot, and it needs to work seamlessly. So how do you approach that in your organization? I'm guessing you have some strong opinions, probably from some first-hand experience. A lot of that will be good. Some of that will be bad. And quite frankly, we've all been there. There'll be some really ugly pieces there when it's just gone wrong. Here are a few actual quotes up on the screen beside me from customers that I'm sure you can relate to. Some powerful words that pop out, that if you're in trouble, don't push shipping to the margins. When it goes wrong, it's a real pain point for your end customer, and it impacts the customer promise. Knowing who your freight provider is and how they're going to work with you is one of the most important connection points between a business and its customers. When I see quotes like this, and I think of the many conversations I've had with sellers, what stands out to me are two themes. One, you can't take shipping for granted or treat it as just another checkbox. And second, it's often the most critical but sublime part of your customer experience, and that is often overlooked. Shipping is too dynamic to be treated as a hindrance or an afterthought, and it is essential to get you the right promises that have made to your customers and make sure they're delivered all the time. Your customers are acutely aware of the shipping process, and it will impact on the overall satisfaction of the goods that you're selling if they don't have that promise of delivery. And what happens time and time again is if you don't hit that promise, customers will vote with their checkbook. They will order from somebody else. But if the goods arrive when they're expecting them, they will continue to reorder from you. And that's where Amazon Freight comes in. I want to give you just a very brief overview of the service to help set up our discussion with Adam. First, let's take a step back in time. Amazon had a need to increase capacity as we were starting to see peak season surges. We decided to invest in solving this internally, and over the last decade, we have built out our capacity. As we've scaled, we've invested in infrastructure such as trailers and other assets, and as that grew, we recognized a real opportunity to offer it to others, to customers like you. In 2019, we brought Amazon Freight to market as an external transportation service to provide offerings to customers of all sizes. Today, we have more than 60,000 trailers serving shippers coast to coast, and it really is the best of both worlds. You have the technology, including things like AI, that powers Amazon network, combined with a large fleet at your fingertips to benefit your customers. We currently operate a truckload service and ship inbound to Amazon's fulfillment centres, but we can also ship externally too. Our service is primarily focused around 53-foot dry van full truckload moves in the continental US, but we do have a separate offering in EU and UK. What this boils down to is we can meet shippers' short and long-term demands with greater agility. Regardless of what they need, shippers choose us for one reason. We treat their freight like their own. The same network that delivers Prime Promise also delivers to companies, and that means that you get better customer satisfaction, you improve efficiency, and you reduce cost. And that brings us nicely to the core of what we're here to talk about today, making shipping part of your optimization growth strategy. I would be very thrilled to welcome Adam Bartel, Operations Manager at Intelligent Blends, and somebody, hi Adam, good to see you.
Hi.
Who's seen firsthand the complexity of shipping and fulfillment. So just to let people know who may not have come across Intelligent Blends before, Intelligent Blends is a top seller on Amazon and a manufacturer specializing in high quality, sustainable coffee packaging. Adam manages Intelligent Blends operations. You started off 5 years ago as an assistant. Since that time, you've sort of worked through the company and today oversees inventory planning and forecasting for all the organization's e-commerce channels, as well as logistics, coordination, and managing some key accounts, ensuring client satisfaction, and fostering strong business relationships. Did I miss anything?
No, that sums it up.
Okay. So obviously Adam's got a lot of experience. He's learned a lot of lessons along the way, and as part of the lessons he's learned with Intelligent Blends, he's here to share them with us today. Adam, thank you for being here. I'm going to throw you in on the hot seat and ask you some questions.
Yeah, happily.
Yeah. So first off, let's focus in a bit on Intelligent Blends and the shipping operations. Give us a view of how you approach that. Who are your customers? What's the business? What's the product, for those that don't know?
Yeah, so we were established in 2013. We're based in San Diego, California. We primarily focus on co-manufacturing. So people come to us, they say, we want to develop something innovative. We have a really advanced R&D department that works with them on primarily functional beverages. So that means mushroom-infused stuff, vitamin-infused coffees, which is a really big business right now. We take a lot of pride in that innovation. And then separate from that, we also have a huge D2C business, which, like you see here, these are our Mods brands. Mods is our top Amazon brand. It's about 70% of our e-commerce revenue. And quite honestly, from my end, the Amazon business is so crucial because that's where a lot of my time is spent, especially on the inventory planning and e-commerce forecasting.
So let's dive into that a bit more. What are your kind of critical responsibilities as the operations manager?
Yeah, so ultimately, day to day, I'm looking at every channel. I'm forecasting by SKU, making sure we're in stock on every channel. I wouldn't say I have a day-to-day routine, and that's just the life of an operator.
That's logistics, I think.
Yeah, it's logistics, it's operations, it's just the way it is, unfortunately. I will say the forecasting time is probably the most time spent on my day-to-day, and then logistics management as well. And that's really crucial because customer experience is so important when it comes to this stuff. Ultimately, we have 3 key points that we kind of like to talk about: efficiency, customer service, and security. On the efficiency aspect, customers need to get their product quickly. Amazon gets their stuff quickly. We have to make sure we do it as well. And so on our fulfillment warehouse, it's really crucial that if something comes in before 2 p.m., we're shipping it out that same day. If it comes in after 2 p.m., we're shipping it out the following day. Efficiency is also key because it allows our warehouse to process things effectively, and that leads to more customer retention. On the customer service side of things, which is that second point, we really want to make sure we have great relationships with our vendors. So we're choosing small parcel carriers that we can rely on, full truckload carriers that we can rely on, just like Amazon Freight. And then obviously figuring out what is the best way to get those products to the customer. That sort of leads us into the security aspect, which customers don't want to receive damaged goods, and they won't buy our product again if they do. So we do everything in our power to make sure whatever we're shipping them is undamaged. We take a lot of pride and a lot of God, I can't think of the words. I'm sorry.
Well, people want, you
Yeah.
don't want to get anything damaged. It needs to turn up in pristine
Exactly.
condition.
Yeah. We invest a lot in that technology to ensure that those boxes are arriving undamaged, because customers will buy that stuff again if it's not damaged.
Really interesting. I've heard you say a few times there about how shipping ties into customer experience. Can you talk a little bit more about how you see that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really expediency. People want their stuff quickly, and we make sure that happens. With Amazon being 70% of our business right now, especially on the e-commerce side, we know that Amazon's going to get it to them quickly, but we also want to make sure that whatever we're giving them is a good product.
Yeah.
Using sort of Amazon Freight, using whatever small parcel carriers that we've vetted to get these products to our customers, it's just worked out really well in our favor because we've invested so much time and technology in that regard.
And so does your business have seasonality surges as Amazon does?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see here, pumpkin spice season. So ultimately from really August through December, those are our peak months, 100%. And that's primarily just because we're a hot beverage company in most senses. However, we do offer some summer items like instant iced teas and things like that. But really things start to die down around early March, and then they pick up again in August. So yeah, seasonality is absolutely there. It's tough to forecast, but that's definitely something that we take a lot of pride in.
And so you need a freight provider who's going to bring you flexibility.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's dive deep into some of the lessons that you've sort of learnt and can share with some of the sellers that we have here with us today. So I mentioned earlier, I've sort of seen sellers treat shipping as a hindrance at best, sometimes just a checkbox exercise. But that's not how you and Intelligent Blends have approached it, is it?
No, I mean, so 5 years ago, I would say we looked at this sort of as an afterthought. It's really crucial for sellers to start looking at their shipping apparatus and say, what can I do to improve this so that the customer experience is greatly improved? Really, over the past 3 years, we've implemented a lot of innovations with our warehouse to ensure that they're meeting the goals and KPIs that we've set for them. Whether that's data visualization tools, we've implemented a lot of, just to use AI because it's a great buzzword, but we implement a lot of technical initiatives that are driven by AI, and that's really helped us treat shipping as a huge benefit to our customer. And we know for a fact that if we keep growing that apparatus, our customer is only going to grow, and we want to keep seeing that happen.
And what would you really hone in on as the key areas of your success in that growth, in developing that growth and efficiency?
Yeah, the biggest key for us is collaboration. We, as an operations team, take a lot of pride in having our hand in every pot. Not like people aren't pushing us away from this stuff, but they accept our help and they want to teach us things so that we can help them. If our accounting department comes to us and say, hey, I have this trivial task, I would love for us to be able to automate this, we can do that for them. If the warehouse needs a new tool that can make their life more efficient, we're going to implement that for them. So we take a lot of pride in really giving them the knowledge to give us the knowledge, if that sort of makes sense. It's really important for us to have like a two-way street, a very, very clear collaboration between departments.
I'm going to ask a very specific question now, but there's method to the reason I'm asking it, is that one of the things that when I'm talking to sellers and shippers that I hear is that often the biggest challenges are in the loading dock.
Yeah.
Both sort of pickup and delivery.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty critical thing, and I think it does sometimes get overlooked. How have you approached that? So what lessons have you learned from thinking about that with more detail?
Yeah, palletization efficiency is absolutely key in this regard, especially on the warehousing aspect. We want to make sure that we're utilizing every square foot in our warehouses. And then beyond that, loading things on trucks, we don't want to ship air. It's absolutely crucial that we're using every square foot of that truck, because we're just paying for air at that point. There's no reason for us to be doing that. And we've really found a lot of ways to make that happen, whether it's implementing new softwares, working with our corrugate manufacturers to find really sturdy boxes, but efficient boxes that utilize every space on that pallet. And that's a huge, huge part of our business right now.
And that's driven a lot of efficiencies, I assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so if I think about that then, let's zoom out to the other end, which is the other challenge that I hear a lot of is about forecasting orders. How do you think about that?
Yeah, so we really start by looking at things at a network level. Once we understand what everything is looking like in full, we start to dig into things by channel. We manage about 5 to 6 e-commerce channels right now, 150 to 200 SKUs. It's a lot of coffee, a lot of tea, but we find a way to make it work. Something that we've implemented over the past 2 years as a team is a bi-monthly forecasting meeting. And that's really crucial because especially with seasonality, SKUs can go up and down like that. And we have to capture it to ensure that we remain in stock. So I would recommend to any seller that's here, please look at your SKUs on a granular level. Otherwise, you will not capture those dips and peaks, and you're going to run out of stock.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I think people are often unprepared for is disruption. Yeah. You know, a blizzard closing a highway, you know, a tire, a big accident on an interstate. All these things, we know they're coming. We don't know when they're coming, but how do you plan for them?
Everyone needs a backup plan. Even if you have the most trusted freight broker, the most trusted carrier, the most trusted small parcel representative, you need a backup plan. Have that network of providers out there for you so that you can lean on them if something really bad happens. Beyond that, just from an inventory level, you need to have safety stock, and any business knows that. But it's really crucial to understand that. And just going back to the forecasting piece, if you're looking at things on that granular level, you'll understand that, okay, I need 4 weeks of cover here just to make sure if that blizzard happens, I'm good to go and I have time to react to it.
Yeah. And as you look to the future, sort of what is your long-term strategy to keep improving Intelligent Blends sort of operations and logistics?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the technical initiatives that we've implemented recently are going to drive that long-term growth. Again, those data visualization tools that we've implemented with the warehouse, the constant collaboration and communication that we have with our teams, it's absolutely crucial to all that. And then beyond that, just on the innovation side, like, yeah, we have an incredible R&D department, but none of this stuff can get onto the market without making sure your operations team is collaborating with them even directly, just to make sure everything's functioning.
Okay, let's move to our last section. I'd love to chat with you and find out a bit more about why you started to work with Amazon Freight, how you found that relationship, and how that's developed as Intelligent Blends has grown. So let's look back a bit. Why did you start using Amazon Freight? What was the rationale for you the Intelligent Blends to give Amazon Freight a try?
Yeah, so back in 2021, we had been running our Kentucky warehouse. We were really shipping things inefficiently. So shipping stuff into Amazon, we were using a lot of LTL carriers. It was taking a long time to get received in. It wasn't reliable. We couldn't track it as well. And we figured, okay, well, Amazon was reaching out to us with this pilot program. Why don't we give it a shot and see what we can do to consolidate freight, make it more efficient, and get stuff to FCs much quicker. Amazon Freight and our business are growing really at the same time right now, and it's pretty lovely to see. The more we've used Amazon Freight, the more in stock we are, the higher confidence I have in everything being replenished and received quickly. And really, it's a crucial aspect to our business because I rely so heavily on them for Amazon. I mean, it's 70% of our e-commerce business. If I don't have a provider like Amazon Freight, there's really nothing I can do to make sure that stuff is remaining in stock.
That's good to hear. And one of the things that really resonated with me in the things you were saying earlier was how important customer support is.
Yeah.
What's the customer support you're getting from Amazon Freight?
It's second to none. We have a really incredible representative named Bobby. He provides us with incredible innovative ideas just to make sure that we're always looking for what might be the next thing. If I have an issue, I know I can contact him. But beyond that, there's a 24/7 shipper support service. If our warehouse is working late and a truck still hasn't shown up, they can call that team immediately and they'll get an update. And then with that said, they have a GPS tracking, which is pretty crucial. But sometimes other things go wrong. Maybe that tracker's not working. It's really crucial for us to be able to contact someone at Amazon Freight and for them to provide that insight and solution. And then sort of separate from that, the customer portal that we've seen really from the start when we started in 2021 to now has grown so significantly. Like I have not seen a freight company have such a dedicated portal that I can use so quickly know exactly what's going on, book an appointment. I mean, it's all encompassing, which is so important for someone like me who I need to save time, and it really helps.
That's awesome to hear, and kudos to Bobby on this one.
Yeah.
Coming to the end, I'm just going to sort of ask if there's any words of wisdom that you would like to share with everyone here today that we haven't covered.
Yeah, so I think just as operations people, and an FBA seller specifically, it's really important for us to foster an environment of collaboration. Operations as a whole is sort of the puppet master. We're a jack of all trades, but we're a master of none. And there's nothing to be ashamed about that. It's important for everyone to sort of dip their hands into every pot. And I would recommend, again, that communication is key, but hire that talent that's really going to allow you to grow. It's really important to have people by your side that know your vision and are going to execute it accordingly.
So I'm going to just keep going. We've got a bit of time left. So one of the things that you mentioned earlier was around strategy. How do you think about strategy? You know, is it a good day when you get time to think about strategy? How do you? Yeah. We know things happen, things change fast in the supply chain, and transportation has kinks in it. But how do you factor in time for strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. If I have to work late to strategize, that's what we're going to do. With that said, I mean, you know, I have my routine, but I know for a fact that every single action that I'm taking, there's some strategic component to it. And that's part of our broader picture of strategy. Ultimately, again, with that collaboration that we have internally, we're a pretty small team. So we know that if someone has a good idea and they can implement this in our strategic vision, then we're going to execute that in the quickest and most effective way. We're not going to sacrifice our quality of that execution just by making it speedy, but we know for a fact that as a team, we're really good at that. And I think any seller, as long as they're I keep saying fostering, but you're going to keep fostering that environment of collaboration, you're only going to see good things come about.
Now, we've got the pumpkin spice chai latte, which is one of your new brands for this year.
Yeah.
What's your favorite coffee?
My personal favorites are Tall, Dark, and Handsome. That's just our flagship dark roast coffee. We have a variety of other ones out there. We also have a matcha latte right now, a standard chai latte. Please feel free to visit our Amazon page. I mean, it's pretty awesome out there. So.
I can confirm that. I've been looking at it and kind of, I need to try that. I need to try that.
Yeah. So. And then beyond that, like, we're also innovating. So we have a lot of new instant sticks that are coming out. We manufacture for a lot of other people as well. I'm sure some of your favorite brands out there are manufactured by Intelligent Blends. So, you know, come visit us if you're looking for a single serve or functional beverage manufacturer.
Well, thank you very much. It's been awesome to hear from you today. I've learned some stuff. I hope everybody here has learned some pieces. It's been great to have a perspective from a seller about how we're supporting you. So I appreciate you taking the time to share that.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Now, I've a few takeaways that I have. I'm interested to hear what other people have to say. But first, that I think what both Adam and I are sharing is that shipping needs to be a focal point of any business. You know, you heard this very clearly, that Adam fosters collaboration across many internal groups at Intelligent Blends to make sure that everybody's working together to make this work. That is critical for success and growth. And you have to resist the status quo, to treat shipping as just another thing on your to-do list, to really make it effective. The second piece that I took away was that details matter. The day-to-day of shipping has many moving parts, and they have to work in harmony. You need to have command of all of them. And whether it's inventory management, using tech to automate processes, or even, like as Adam said, you know, optimizing the type of boxes you ship so you can put more in a trailer, it all matters and it all adds up for future success. And finally, you need to rely on your freight provider who can help you deliver on time with all of this. And Adam mentioned the needs of shipping speed and efficiency, backed by a fantastic support network to really create an outstanding experience, not just for sellers, but also for your end customers. I'm very pleased to hear that you have built a great partnership with Bobby and the team at Amazon Freight, and I'm very confident that everyone here can do as well. That's all we have time for today. I really hope you found the session helpful, and I appreciate it's a busy event that you put time in your schedules to join us. One quick ask, we always want to have feedback and improve our sessions for Accelerate. please could you use your in-app QR code scanner to access the survey. You can see the barcode up on the screen behind us, and give us some feedback of what you've seen and heard today. And Adam and I would really love to keep this conversation going. For those of you here at Accelerate, we'll be at the Q&A kiosk to answer any questions you may have straight after this session. But the Amazon Freight team, including Bobby, are at the supply chain area on the ground floor, and we're at the Partner Connect booth number 304. You'll see us because there's a very big truck in the corner, and I think there's some coffee being served, so you can come and grab a cup and hear more about Amazon Freight. If you want to find out more about Amazon Freight, I would really encourage you to go and visit freight.amazon.com to find out even more about how we can support your business, both on and off Amazon. So thank you, Adam, again. It's been great hearing your journey, hearing about Intelligent Blends and the success that you're going through. I found it interesting, so thank you very much. And thanks to everybody here and watching. Have a great conference.